Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Sabily. This time I will presentation my result 5 assignment Lab English for Public Relation. Part 1. The story began when Todd often see Sarah eating soup every day at the office. Then Todd asked Sarah, "Why are you eating soup every day?" Then Sarah answered, "That's because I love to cook soup. I make a lot on Monday, and then I bring it to work every day of the week." Todd asked to, "How do you make the soup? What's your secret?" Sarah replied, "So I buy meat that's already cut up, usually chicken, and then some rice, usually brown rice, and then I buy some vegetable. So after I bought the ingredients, I chop them up and I put them all together in water until boil and add some seasoning. Then taught us if the ingredient should not be added before the water boil." Sarah replied, "No, I guess it's just easier for the water to be to be to be hot because the vegetable and the meat cook a little faster." Thought as, "So how do you give the soup flavoring?" Sarah replied, "I usually add salt and pepper, maybe some garlic, and depending on the type of soup, either maybe some soy sauce or lemon juice, and add flavoring and ingredients together." Taught us. "And then after you cook the soup, do you put the soup in the refrigerator?" Sarah replied, "Usually I eat a little at that time, and I also put it in a container for a week. But I leave it in the container outside the counter for a bit to cool it down before I put it in the refrigerator." To taught us. "And then how do you heat it up? Do you heat it up in a pot or do you heat it up in the microwave? And are you making enough for 5 minutes?" Sarah replied, "In the microwave. It's the easiest. And maybe sometimes, if I think I'm going to get tired of eating it for a week, then maybe I'll make enough for 3 or 4 meals. But if it's the kind that I find really good and I know I want to eat it every day, then I'll make a lot of it." Not say, "Well, if that happens, when you make the soup, can make it for 6 or 7 and give me a bowl." Sarah replied, "Okay, I'll do text. I'll do that next time." Part 2. Steve is asking Ranai to know where the movie theater in downtown. "The one near the hospital," Ranai replied. "Why do you want to know?" Steve said. "On Monday, I asked Jennifer out on a date for this coming Saturday night." And then Renee gave directions so Steve doesn't get lost. "First, drive down First Street going west, cross the river, and keep going straight until Pine Street. Then turn left, and the movie theater is the second building on the right. It's next to the crunch. Steve asks again about a good restaurant recommendation. Rane answered, the Pink Flamingo serve excellent Spanish food. Steve asked, where is it? Rane replied, starting from the movie theater, go south on Pine Street, cross 2nd Street, and drive to 3rd Street. You'll see a parking lot on the left side of the street. Then turn left on 3rd Street and drive east. The Pink Flamingo is the building just before the river on the left side. I think it's open weekday from 10:30 in the morning to 11:30 at night. But it stay open until midnight to the weekend. And then Steve said, I think I've driven by there before. And give the last question to Rane. Where can I buy some flower? We're going out to celebrate Jennifer's birthday. Rane replied. Well, the only florist I know is in front of the stadium on 2nd Street. Then Steve thanks to Rane for helping him. Part number 3, the dog and the sparrow. The shepherd dog had a master who took no care of him. His dog often suffered from the greatest hunger. One day, finally lived in a very sad and sorrowful mood. While on the way, he met a sparrow and said, why are you so sad, my friend? The dog said, because I am very hungry and have no food. Then the sparrow replied, then come with me to the next town and I will find a lot of food for you. Then the two of them went together into town, and as they passed the butcher shop, the sparrow said to the dog, stand there for a while until I pick you a piece of meat. So the sparrow perched upon the shelf, and having first looked careful about her to see if anyone was watching her, so speak and scratch at a stick that lay up the edge of the shelf, till at least down it fell. Then the dog picked it up and took it to a corner, where it immediately ate it all. Then the sparrow said, will you get even more if you want? So come with me to the next shop, and I'll pick you another stick and have you had enough now. Dog answered. The dog replies, I have a lot of meat, but I want to eat a piece of bread afterward. Come with me and you will soon get it too, replies the sparrow. So he took them to the bakery and picked at the two roll which lay in the window until they fell, and because the dog found more, he took them to another shop and packed them again. When eaten, the sparrow asked if he has had enough now. Yes, he said, and now let's take a short walk out of town. So they both went to the highway, but the weather is warm. They haven't gone far, but the dog said, I'm so tired. I want to take a nap. Very well, replied the sparrow. Do so, and in the meantime, I will perch upon that bus. So the dog stretched himself out on the road and fell fast asleep. Witless he slept, there came by a carter with a cart drawn by 3 horses and loaded with 2 casks of wine. The sparrows, saying that the carter did not turn out of the way, but would go on in the track in which the dog lay, so as to drive over him, called out, Stop, stop, Mr. Carter, or it shall be the worse for you. But the carter, grumbling to himself, You make it worse for me, indeed. What can you do? Crack his whip and drove his car over the poor dog, so that the wheels crushed him to death. Cried the sparrow, You ruthless criminal, you have killed my canine friend. Now think about what I say. It's this action for your will cost you your much. Do you worse and welcome, said the bull. What harm can you do to me? And but the bird was seen under the slopes of the chariot and picked off the light of one of them until he lost it, and all the wine ran out without saying the carter. At, at last, he looked around and saw that the cart was dripping and the cask quite empty. What an unlucky rat I am, cried he. No, right enough yet, said the sparrow, as she lighted upon the head of one of the horses and picked at him till he reared up and kicked. When the carter saw this, he drew out his hatchet and aimed a blow at the sparrow, meaning to kill her, but she flew away, and the blow fell upon the poor horse's head with such force that he fell down the unlucky rat. That I am, cried he. No rat enough yet, sighed the sparrow. And as the carter went on with the other 2 horses, she again crept under the tilt of the cart and picked out the book of the second cask. So that's all the wine are out. When the carter saw this, he again cried out, Cerebral rats, what I am. But the sparrow answered, No, rat enough yet, and perched on the head of the second horse and picked at him too. The carter ran up and struck at her again with his head, but away she flew, and the blow fell upon the second horse and killed him on the spot. Unlucky rat that I am. said he. Not right enough yet, said Sparrow. Upon the third horse, she began to pick him too. The carter was mad with fury, and without looking about him or caring what he was about, struck again at the sparrow, but killed his third horse as he done the other two. Alas, miserable, miserable wretch that I am, cried he. No, cried, enough yet. As for the sparrow, uh, as she flew away. Now I pluck and punish the at thy own house. The carter was forced at last to leave his cart behind him and to go home, overflowing with rage of vexation, alas, said he to his wife, what ill luck has befallen me? My one it is all split, and my horse all three dead. Alas, husband, replied she, and a wicked bird has come into the house, and has brought with her all the birds in the world, I am sure, and they have fallen upon our court in the law, and are eating in up at such a rate. Away ran the husband upstairs, and saw thousands of birds sitting upon the flower eating of his corn, with the sparrow in the midst of them, and an evil bird has entered the house, and has taken all the birds of the world. I believe, and they have fallen upon your corn in the attic, and the four it with such speed when husband ran upstairs, and saw thousands of the birds sitting on the floor eating corn, with sparrow in the middle. I'm just lucky, cried the wagon man, because he saw the corn was almost gone, not set enough yet. And said sparrow, your currently with will take their life, and he flies. The carter, saying that he had lost everything he had, went to his kitchen and still doesn't regret for his done, but sit furiously and sullenly in the corner of the chimney. But the sparrow sat outside the window and cried, Carter, your cruelty will take your life. With that, jumped up furiously, took his axe, and threw it at the sparrow. But it missed and just broke the window. The sparrow now jumped in, burst on the window, sit and shout, Carter, it will take your life. And he became mad and blind with rage, and struck the window seat with such force that he cleft it in two. And as the sparrow flew from place to place, the carter and his wife were so furious that they broke all their furniture, glasses, chair, bench, the table, and at last the wall, without touching the bird at all. However, in the end, they choked her, and the wife said, shall I kill her at once? No, cried he, that is letting her off too easily. She shall die much more cruel that I will eat her. But the sparrow began to flutter about and stretched out her neck and cried, "Carter, it shall cost the life yet." With that he could wait no longer, so he gave his wife to hatchet and cried, "Wife, strike a bird and kill her in my hand." And the wife did, but she missed her aim. He struck her husband into the head so that he died, and Sparrow flew home peaceful to his nest. Story ends. Thank you.